Okay, dog is barking. Kids are throwing huge things. Hey guys, where'd you get that? You found it in the forest? It is time to go. Last month, most of the country was hit with a pretty severe winter storm. A lot of places got tons and tons of snow. We didn't get tons of snow here, but we did get tons of ice. So much ice that it knocked over a bunch of trees. One of our trees split into 3 pieces and 2 pieces fell over and 1 piece is still standing. So today it is March 6th, I think, and we rented a wood mulcher. So we are mulching all of the fallen trees on our property. And then we also have these trees that we took down last summer, trying to get them cleared out of here so we can actually utilize all this space. And we're gonna use all the wood chips to fill the animal yard because it is getting pretty mucky and stinky. So that's what we're doing today.
For the house, the lovely view, I'm thinking about you.
Okay, I am on my way to work. It is March 10th. The wood chipping went very well. We still have a lot of wood that needs to be chipped, but we only had the wood chipper for a few hours and there was only so much we could get done, and it's a lot of hard work, but I really like that. I love manual labor. Not always, but I do really like working outdoors with my hands and doing things that make me feel like I'm stronger than I knew I was, and just, you know, I like that kind of thing. Yard work, taking care of animals, helping a goat give birth, raising baby squirrels, just that stuff that connects you with nature is so cool. It was raining while we were working and I was okay with that. And I kept thinking, you know, maybe this is why I'm writing a Western. Anyways, so I'm on my way to work, and the reason that I'm vlogging right now is because I've been thinking a lot about some stuff. I'm coming to the end of my term. This is my 4th term at Eastern Oregon University. I really am loving school. I'm doing it all online, obviously. This term I am taking a rhetoric class and communication design, which is a lot of like Photoshop and graphic design type stuff, and intro to archaeology, which I thought was going to be really fascinating. I thought it was going to be just like the coolest class I've ever taken in my life, and it is rather boring, I have to say. The textbook, to be honest, is fascinating. I really like the textbook. I like the way it's written. I feel like the authors of the textbook, who are archaeologists themselves, are pretty snarky, and I like that. I like that you get a lot of personality. Like, this textbook definitely has more personality than any other textbook I've ever read, but the teacher is kind of bland and boring, and there's a point to this. The point is that I'm coming to the end of my term, and at the beginning of my term, I was just like on fire with my writing. I was writing every day, getting really far in my manuscript, and it was great, or in my revisions, I should say. And as I come to the end of my term, I found this is just kind of the pattern to expect as a full-time student who's also trying to write a novel, is that by the end of the term, I'm getting really burnt out and my writing suffers as a consequence. So I have not written really in my book in probably like 2 weeks, which makes me sad. But that's just the way it is when you are a working full-time student. So, you know, I do the best that I can. I mentioned in my last video that I was working 2 part-time jobs, and now I have dropped one of those jobs, which was my cleaning job that I got at the end of last summer, and now I am just doing this other job full-time. My mom teaches school in the mornings. My 2 nephews attend the school that she teaches, and the school is rather far away through the mountains. And as luck would have it, so is this dental office, really close to the school. And so we are kind of job sharing, my mom and I. She goes and teaches school in the morning, and I work at the dental office while she's teaching school. And when she comes to replace me at work, she brings the boys with her from school, and then I take the boys home. I'm actually using my sister's car right now because my husband Patrick also got a job, and he is now using the car that we share, which is one of the reasons I had to drop my other job. It just works out better this way. I can use my sister's car when I go to work in the mornings and then bring her kids home with me in the afternoons. So yeah, it's been working really great. I've been really busy juggling work and juggling school and my writing, and normally my favorite time to write is first thing in the morning when I get up. But this job, because it is far away, it takes me about 45 minutes to get to work, and I start work at 7 in the morning, and it's also really important to me that I exercise first thing in the morning. So I'm getting up at 5 in the morning, but then I only have time to exercise and get ready for work and then leave, basically. Sadly, that doesn't leave any time for writing unless if I get up at 4 in the morning, I would definitely have some time for writing. And I've been toying with the idea of just doing that, even though it sounds so early. It's like, well, it's only an hour earlier than I get up anyways, and why not? It doesn't hurt. So I might try that this week. In fact, maybe I'll make that what this vlog is actually about, is me trying to get up at 4 in the morning to do my writing and see. That's just, that's just the nature of trying to make time for writing. No matter what you have going on, you've always got something going on in your life that's going to make it difficult to find time for writing. And even when you don't, because you're in quarantine and you lost your job, apparently, it's still hard to make time for writing, because now you can find all of these lazy things to do to fill your time instead, to distract you from the fact that you're jobless and in quarantine. Life lessons you learn the hard way, I tell you. Oh yeah, so another reason that I wanted to hop on and vlog right now is because in my last video I was talking about time management as a writer, and I was just kind of rambling, and I don't think I was very clear in what I was trying to express. So what it sounded like I said, and the way I think most people interpreted this, based on the comments that I got on my last video, is that it sounded like I was saying that nobody can ever be just a full-time writer. They always have to have some kind of a side gig to be able to support themselves, which is not what I was trying to say at all. What I was trying to express had nothing to do with the ability to support yourself as a writer or making money or anything like that. It had everything to do with time management. So let me try explaining that again, and hopefully this makes a little bit more sense, and maybe you guys can agree or disagree on the thing I actually meant to say, and we can have a good conversation about it in the comments. So basically, I follow a lot of authors, both traditionally published and self-published, and especially here on the AuthorTube community, I follow several people who I consider to be pretty successfully published authors who have gone the indie route. And if you follow anybody who's a successfully published indie writer, indie publisher, whatever, successfully published, self-published, I have noticed that with them, writing is their business, and they are very open and upfront about that, and they do a lot of vlogging to show you just how busy their life is as a self-published author, even when that is the only thing that they do, whether or not they're able to completely financially support themselves doing it. And these are just people in the AuthorTube community. Outside of the AuthorTube community, there are highly successful indie published authors. For example, Joanna Penn is one of them. Mark Dawson makes 6 figures with his self-published books, which sounds insane to me. However, those people who make a buttload of money self-publishing are also very, very upfront about the fact that they make that much money because of all the work that they put into marketing and the money that they spend on marketing and the courses that they provide online to help them make money, to be able to afford marketing, and I don't know. There's so much more that goes into it, and it is a full-time, sometimes an overtime job for them to be as successful publishing as they are. And I always kind of knew that, like, oh yeah, so to be self-published, you run your own business, and that is really time consuming, and so they have to balance time for writing with time for actually running their publishing business, their book business. I used to think that was just a self-publishing thing, and I thought that, yeah, but if you're traditionally published, you have the publishing company who's doing all of that business work for you, and all you have to do is write. And so whether or not you have a day job, I just assumed that a traditionally published author only has to worry about the writing part of the book, and then everything else is managed by somebody else. However, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts from traditionally published authors who have enlightened me further to see that that is not the case. I was listening to a specific podcast that, if I can find it again, I will link it down below. It's called Writing Excuses. It's been going for like 15 or 16 years now. It is Brandon Sanderson, Mary Robinette Kowal, Howard Taylor, and Dan Wells, and then they have guests that come on. They have Victoria Schwab come on pretty frequently. Anyways, so they talk about all things publishing and writing, and it's 15 minutes long because you're in a hurry and we're not that smart. You know, it's a great podcast. It's only 15 minutes long, so they're really succinct, and it's just once a week. Every Monday I listen to it and I love it. So they had an episode where they were talking about publishing as a business, and these are all traditionally published authors except for one. Howard Taylor is an indie published author. He publishes comic strips online, and then all of the others on the podcast are successful traditionally published authors. Mary Robinette Kowal has won like 2 or 3 book Oscars or something like that, whatever the Oscars are for books. She's won some big awards, and they're very successful. They know their stuff. On this episode I was listening to about publishing business, they were really stressing the fact that when you publish, whether it's traditionally or you do an indie publishing, you now have a business that you have to run. And they talked about all the work that they do that people don't think about when they think of being traditionally published. Brandon Sanderson emphasizes a lot, not just in this podcast, but I've also watched some of his lectures that he teaches at BYU in his creative writing class. And he really stresses and emphasizes the fact that even though he is traditionally published, he has to do a lot of his own marketing. And when he wanted to do book tours, he had to make those things happen. His publishing company did not just start sending him on book tours. That was really eye-opening for me, just to hear all of these really successful traditionally published authors talking about how much work they put into running their own book business, despite the fact that they have a publishing house that's also doing work to market for them and do all these things. So all that to say, what I was trying to emphasize is that I just had this epiphany where I realized that no matter what, if I want to publish books, I have to learn how to manage my time between writing and business, the business of my book. I want you guys to understand what I'm trying to say so badly. What I'm trying to say is that right now, I poo-poo on the fact that I have to balance my writing time with work time and with school time, and it's so hard. And I'm always dreaming of this distant future someday when hopefully all I'll have to worry about is my writing, and I won't have to juggle that with anything else. And that is just never going to happen if I want to publish books and sell books. Like, I'm always going to have to balance the writing with something else. And again, nothing to do with making money. I just mean being able to actually sell books so people can read them will take work and will take time that I will have to learn how to manage. And so this is not a disappointing realization to me. It's actually kind of liberating in a way, because I realize that it's a good thing I'm so busy right now, because right now I can learn valuable skills that will help me as a eventually published author. If I can learn how to manage my time right now while I'm in school and I'm working, and I can still make time for writing and make progress on my book, that will solidify to me that I can make it as a successfully published author, because that means I've learned how to manage my time so that I can make time for marketing my book. I can make time for writing my book and networking and doing all these other things that it would take to get my book out into the world. That's what I'm trying to say. Please let me know if that made sense, and if you agree or disagree with me. Maybe you are a traditionally or self-published author who has your publishing house do everything for you and really all you have to do is write, please let me know, because I haven't heard that from any authors that I've listened to yet. I've never heard an author say that all they have to do is write. And so if I'm wrong about that, or you have heard where an author has said that, please let me know, because that would be interesting. This has been a long conversation because this is a 45-minute drive to work and I'm almost there and I'm still yammering on. But it feels really good to talk about this stuff. You know, it just feels good to be able to talk about writing with people who get it. And that's the cool thing about AuthorTube and this community and just having a writing group in general. I'm just like on this high right now because I just read an email from my pen pal where she was talking about writing and her book, and I love her book. It's amazing and I can't wait for it to get published because it's going to. Just reading it now, I'm like, dang, this is so good. And yeah, I'm so excited for her. And it's just fun. It's fun to have friends that you can talk to about writing stuff. And yeah, so comment down below if you have any insights into this whole idea of you have to learn how to manage your time to be successful at writing and publishing. I think there is a scenario where you truly can just write and nothing else, and I think that scenario is you have no intention of actually publishing your books and you're being financially supported by somebody else. I think that's the scenario in which all you ever have to worry about is just the writing. And wouldn't that be a dream come true? I don't know. I think I would actually get bored really fast. It turns out I really like having lots of other things to do and things to juggle, and I like having to make a schedule that works for me. Anyways, okay, that's enough for that conversation for now. And then if this vlog isn't already too long, then maybe I'm gonna try waking up at 4 a.m. to see if I can find writing time then. Let's just see when I can squeeze in time to write. Let's see if I can find this balance. And give me your tips below. How do you find balance? Okay, so it is 4 o'clock in the morning. I've gotten up to work on my writing. You thought I was joking, but I was totally serious. Of course, the week that I chose to start this happens to be daylight savings time. So this feels, or it should feel more like this is 3 in the morning to me. But I think it's helpful that I went to bed at like 9. Well, no, technically I went to bed at like 10. I was trying to get into bed by 9 so I wouldn't feel as tired, but I don't feel tired, which is weird. I was expecting to be like The Waking Dead, but I don't feel like that. And I don't know, it just feels kind of weird because the house is so noisy and active. My dad is awake and shuffling around upstairs listening to Les Mis. So there's like I Dreamed a Dream blasting through the ceiling, and then I feel like somebody was walking around the kitchen. And then there are mice in the walls that are like really active and noisy and running around and falling and having a party. So it's like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Everybody's just awake. So yeah, I'm going to exercise, got my workout outfit on, and then I'm going to work on my writing and see how much I can get done before I go to work. Hey, you goats! Okay, it's goat time. It is really nice outside. I want to say that it's unseasonably nice for mid-March, but I kind of remember saying that in a video last year, so. Oh, this is our baby Oliver, who was born last summer, and he still thinks he's a baby, even though he's huge now. Look at his horns! Dang. But he still wants to sit on my lap, so he's gonna snuggle on my lap while we talk about how the waking up at 4 a.m. Maybe not, this is dangerous now. We talk about waking up at 4 a.m. So today was my second day of getting up at 4 a.m. so that I could write before work. And I think it went well. Oh my gosh, help, help! These horns are dangerous. I might have to update you guys somewhere else. Yeah, somewhere else. You're not a baby anymore, Oliver. You're too big to be on my lap. Look at him. He's huge. He was so cute last summer. He's still cute in his own kind of, you know, how goats are kind of creepy. Kind of creepy and cute at the same time. Anyways. Okay, Oliver, I'm getting out of here. Let me out. Let me, free me. Release me. Oh, whoa. Okay. The ducks are like, what'd you do to Mom? But I just realized that they are out of water, and so I need to fill that. And then we can talk about how waking up at 4 a.m. to write has been going. All right, so all of the animals are fed and watered. Bunnies are snuggled. And Scotty's barking. Scotty! Scotty, come. She's just gonna bark. That's just what she's gonna do. Come here, Scotty. Good girl. Yeah. So now that all the animals are taken care of, I am going to close this vlog out because I'm sure it's a million years long already. How has it been going waking up at 4 in the morning? So day 2, I am feeling optimistic. It's not been as hard to wake up as I thought it was going to be. I think because I was already getting up at 5 a.m. anyways, I've kind of gotten myself used to getting up before my body wants to get up. That ended up not being as hard as I thought. The challenge I noticed on the first day is that because I got up an hour earlier, in my mind I thought I had so much more time, and so I actually ended up taking longer on all the things that I normally do, and it didn't give me that much time for writing. I got up, I got dressed, I filled my humongous water bottle, I exercised for half an hour, I took a shower, and I think I took longer in the shower than I normally would have because I thought, oh, I've got all this time, and I didn't think I was taking that long, but I know I was taking longer than I needed to. After my shower, I got all ready for work, and then I sat down to write, and I only had about half an hour to write, and I wanted to have an hour to write, so boo, Rayleigh. But anyways, I started off my writing session with a writing prompt, which is an exercise I've been trying to do before writing lately because I find it helps me get into the writing zone more quickly. I tend to have more productive writing sessions. So that's what I've been doing, and that took up more time than I should have spent on it yesterday because I got a little lost in the writing prompt. So overall, I really only ended up writing about a paragraph when all was said and done. But still, it was a paragraph of new words that I was pleased with, and I learned from that first day. Oh, the boys are out here playing, so you'll hear them in the background. So I learned from that first day, and then this morning when I woke up, I tried to pick up the pace a little bit, do things a little bit more quickly, and it worked. I did have more time for writing, and I did write a little bit more. It still was not a whole lot, but to be fair, I haven't been writing anything lately. So even one little paragraph is better than nothing. So I'm pleased with that, and I think the more I get used to waking up at 4 a.m. and get used to how much time I realistically have, I think I'll become better at utilizing that time wisely. So I'm feeling optimistic. So far, I'm going to call this a success, and I'll keep you guys updated in future vlogs on how my 4 a.m. writing sessions go. Okay, dog is barking. Kids are throwing huge things. Hey guys, where'd you get that? You found it in the forest? It is time to go. It's my finals week, so I need to go and get that done. Oh yeah, I'm really excited about Camp NaNoWriMo this coming April, and I really want to participate. I think I'm going to, even though I'm taking way too many credits this next term. And I know it's going to be crazy. Life is just going to be crazy this summer, and that's okay because this last year, as we all know, was just a doozy of a year where I did nothing all year. So I'm kind of ready to like jump into just doing things, and I'm so happy things are opening, and it's just, yeah, life is exciting, things are good. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see a tour of all of our animals and farm life and a day in the life of how it is taking care of them all and wake up at 4 in the morning writing. I don't know. If you want to see a day in life or a tour, let me know. Comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Happy writing, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!
Would you come and take a walk with me? We'll cross over the mountains and we'll reach the pale blue sea. I love you. I'm so glad you love me too. And I wrote this song for you.